Kinder. Oh my gosh, your second name. I see like a badge. I see you standing in the uniform. You're very tall. You're definitely like genetically modified there. It's definitely Mars base. And I also see you as a little child, as a boy. They would kidnap you a lot. Like even from the park that you would go play, they would kidnap your energy body. They would kidnap you physically when you were. I see a lot of kidnappings were like 6, 7, 8, 9 years old until 11. And then they used your transition, like puberty, 12, 13. There was something experimental with some white powder that they were diluting with some green substance, liquefying it and inserting it into your left arm on the chair. That's just like a lab on the moon. It's a moon lab. Because I also see those capsules that they're growing fetuses and they just like the capsule like this glass and it goes down and up. You can control it because when it goes down, you can put like a fetus in, insert it certain way, put the gel substance in and just put it back up. And I see you having 8 hybrids and 11 different clones. 11 clones. Because the clones are in different. You're in a lot of galaxies. You're in a lot of galaxies. And you're doing a lot of jobs. And you actually were in Orion Wars. There's something you were like a pilot of a military craft delivering some boxes of laser guns, because I see like this particular, it has this, it looks like a drum, but it's not a drum, it's like an energy container. And there's a little stick and you put it in like a magazine or whatever it's called, but it just a plug in, it activates the plasma. It heats up it's just somehow it goes from yellow to red, it heats it up and it starts shooting from the gun. And I see some, it's like souls stuck in cyborg bodies. They have very weird kind of spikes. They have this over the shoulders kind of overlays with spikes. And when I try to look into their, they kind of look inside. That's like a gear they're wearing on, like a suit. But inside they look like thin grays with white skin, like white skin, but grays. And then inside those suits, there's something, the power grid. It's not about something else, but they're changing the power grid of the universe. And they're supposed to infiltrate the particular, it's like they go through some black holes and put hooks into the certain corners of this reality. I don't know how to explain it. It's like a ley lines of reality, because I see like balls of energy, and these balls of energy, if you spread them the right way according um to the map that they're given, the map is given by the AI. It's like a giant, oh my gosh, it's like a giant spider, just like in that show with James. And it produces the giant, the spider's body is connected to the fabric of the reality, and it also it's like a replicator. It's like a life incubator When you mix up biological souls with AI technology, AI programming, but it's like Play-Doh. It looks like Play-Doh. It's like a goo, but it's dark brown goo. It's not black goo. I see it's dark brown. And then it turns into ink color because as you program, it slightly shifts to dark ink color. And you mix it up. It's like you cover a soul, you put the glue over it, and it cannot expand anymore. It's controllable. It becomes a battery sitting inside the biological something, and you can mold anything out of it. And that's how they mold grace. That's how they mold the species of uh, some reptilians that are not biological. They're replicas of the original ones. There's ant people like this. And there's just like those guys in black, people in black, men in black, who like show up at the physical level. They're from there too. They're programmed semi AI, semi uh, Nordic species by robots, I would say. Because they have a mold. It's like the mold, the face looks exactly the same. They're all alike. There's no difference. And so you were delivering ammunition to some very tall, beautiful looking, like Viking people. They say they came from Marduk, that planet. It's, there's like, I hear different names, like MADOC, like Madoc, or whatever. And there's different satellites of that planet. Marduk, another one. And some of these names are taken over by some beings also, but they're actually satellites where those Viking type Anglo-Saxonian looking people come from. They're very tall, very strong. They got this blonde hair, baby, like going down to their shoulders. They have this very, like the blue eyes are very big. It's almost like they're wrapping on the temple area. They're huge. They're long. They have very thin noses, very small. I feel like they don't eat. They don't eat. Their mouth is very small, but they they do something like this in front of the sun because they see the original sun, and they say something, like they make a noise with the voice. It's like they're singing a sound, and I see like ton of energy going into their body, like pew, like they're charged. They charge from the solar energy from the original sun, and they're trying to keep the universe biological while Spider is trying to. Spider is made of the black goo. It just like it's almost like metaphor for the network of AI technologies brought from different malevolent beings, because that's their giant experiment on not only humans, Venetians also. Uh, People from Jupiter were totally relocated because Jupiter was bombarded. The surface was totally erased. They have interesting houses that look like swirls. And our solar system was totally different before. And then, because it's like the solar system is artificially created, because planets existed, but they were in a different configuration, and the sun, it's like the sun is fake. The sun is fake, but there's another sun, and the sun is supposed to cover the other sun. There's something about this obsession with the solar energy, and that they're always trying to create replicas of the sun. There's several of them. There's not only one or two. I feel like there's three. When they created duality, they created the black sun out of the black goo that the spiders keeps producing. It's like the spider on Earth gives us the clue how it produces it. Anyway, it's like it's saliva and it uses it to make webs. You came here specifically because you're just you're like I can't say in charge, but you a wise person who your spaceship is pretty interesting. It's like if I create tubes made out of light blue light like this, and create a boat out of it like this, and then put a bubble of energy over it, and it creates like capsule like oval like spacecraft. And I see it's divided into four. You know what it looks like? It looks like the peas in the pod. And it's like it because it's segmented. And I see you're like driving it, and there's three others are behind you. And you're driving through like real fast through this portal. There is like device in front of the spacecraft, and it creates it like it shoots something, and there's rays. The rays create the tips of the rays connect, and they create like a energy, and that the energy opens a portal. It's like a wormhole. It's not like a huge portal, but it's specifically designed for your spaceship. That's the security standards of your trying to get into like what's the name of your race. And I just see some numbers in letters because you're saying that it's hard to, it's not in words, it's not, you cannot say it was the voice race. But then I hear you say the closest is Anuli race. Says this is ancient race that comes from a different civilization, a different universe. They created the golden shield around that universe. They can protect it from AI, because there is a battle in between biological and AI going on in between all the universes now. They're trying to infiltrate every universe. Unknowingly. I hear your name like when they start calling you, they say it's like Oscar, like like A, but they pronounce it as as Kar, Oscar. Hmm. And it's just the thing because you know that you're see everything's connected. It's like it's like a complex figure. It's a big all the universes I see from like if I zoom out, it's like a big stretched out globe, and each oval in the globe is connected to the other globe, and they interconnected through energy tunnels like portals. And if one universe gets taken over by technology, the technology may have usually tries to make that universe expand and contaminate other universes in a way. It's not like direct contamination, but it's more indirect because it sends waves to the others of disruption. You say you disrupt the biorhythm, the natural biorhythm of the beings living in another universe. That's why you created a team. So there's four of you, and you had to go when you collect data to go back with the data and figure out what can be done in this case scenario, because every time AI infiltrates any, you've seen AI infiltrating other universes, and you each case scenario is totally different how you um, disarmed it. And this way it's going to be different too. That's why you need data, you need information. Information is connected from the ley lines of the universe, the energy lines. But the energy lines are now, the spider is creating more black goo. He's spitting out the black goo, and it creates like a thread, and the thread grows by itself into a web overlaying the original ley lines of biological material created by souls. So that electric system or nervous system of the universe is being overlaid by technology that bothers you. But the thing about this thing, you get hit. You get hit by some sort of rock. It looks like an asteroid, but it's from a, I don't know how to call it, rock machine. There's a thing. There's technology looks exactly like asteroid. You would think from a telescope, oh, it's just a rock in the space. But its grays are the ones who created that technology. They're very technological. And so the rock has like, it's like the moon. Like it's like has craters. The craters open, the lid opens, and there's little rock, but it's this rock is like a bullet. It comes out, and it's already pre-programmed where to go, what object to hit, and it just hit your ship. And when it hit your ship, there's something started happening, like I want to cough right away because you had so much disturbance and so much stress, you couldn't act. And I feel like your left hand, oh my, like you were in pain because you are biological in that ship. You're not energy. You're not 100% energy. There's a percentage of you that is biological, and it actually hurts to get hit by that technology because it also carries like a certain voltage, certain frequency that hurts you and makes your soul shrink because you lose energy quickly. That's designed that way. And then there's another thing that comes by. This is like a spaceship. It's like, it looks like a needle spaceship, I would call it, with some crazy looking creature on board. Oh my gosh, it almost looks like that Sonic but the face is just like black. Black face was the hair sticking like spikes, and the body very very thin, like a stick man. No, I think it's a bio-robotic thing. It's a robot. It's not bio. It's robot. Yeah, it's a robot driving it, and because he took you with some sort of I wouldn't call it claws, but it's something comes out of the ship, takes you in. It's like an energetic thing. It magnetizes your souls because your body is dead in the ship, and your souls came out and the minute your souls came out, they're swept by this um, instrument, whatever that comes from the side door, and you're inside already. You in some sort of containers. Each one of you has like a flat square container. I see 4 of them, yellow green liquid, and I see you turmoil because you are the liquid. What it does, it makes you feel like you're shrinking, and it's the most horrifying feeling because uh, the function of a soul, the way how a soul can get stronger is your expansion through expansion, and you cannot expand containers too small. So that black robot brings you to the moon laboratory, and that's when they start experimenting. They're taking you to this one, all of you, all of your souls from to a particular lab. Your soul I see is green color. As a matter of fact, there's something about this new year you keep telling me that is gonna match up the color of your soul, the energy of the year, the knowledge that you want to spread the knowledge too. And for you, the knowledge in biological sense, the truth is green. And hmm, they are putting you in some sort of, it's like a centrifuge, but it made out of squares. In the container square you put it in, it's like a jar. You put it, you insert it, and it's like you put some, it looks like plasma, like cream, like something plastic and melted on the different parts of your soul is like flat, okay, just like a material, but you're still that intelligent being that didn't do anything, but this stuff is gonna make holes in it, and then it crystallizes into separate, it does by itself. It spreads, it breaks into parts. It broke into 9 parts. Ah, that's why the 9 hybrids. Because somehow they take each part, they modify, genetically modify, and from each they create a hybrid, because I see 9 jars initially with little part of your soul in each. And then, I don't know, just weird. Because those are replicas of your soul. Okay, they just scanned it with some and then printed. It's like they printed it out. Like they created biologic material of your soul, but it's artificial now, but it has all the components and DNA and knowledge and information that your soul, original soul, does have. And then they shrink your soul and send you to this mother. I see you in the womb already. I see how you hate it. I see how you bang inside, like, get me out. Uh, very like, it's like protest or life, feeling of protesting the reality, disliking it so much, disliking life, not really caring much about, uh, at this point, just can care less about anything here. But even when you're a child, not caring about the rules and regulations of the outside world, you're like on protesting mode always. And you feel uncomfortable. You feel uncomfortable in this body. It's not yours. You don't even, like, when you look at yourself, I just don't feel it's you. And it's very strong feeling that people have different um grid, how do you call it, like different percentage of that feeling, but yours is like 110%. You still have, you're traumatized by that. So you're telling me, can we change? And I said, yeah, sure, go ahead. Because I'm telling you, my left here, it hurts because of that drone. Um, that rock, space rock, that is actually like controlled by the mega one, the big one. When it hits you, it's really traumatized your soul. So you're saying, okay, well, because I know it's coming, I am gonna change the storyline here, and it's never gonna come. Grays are not gonna see us on their screen radar system that we're coming. We're just gonna get through, and then go back. And you show me how you collected information. You know how you collect information is very interesting. It's like when ley lines of the energy lines of the universe form nodes. You get to each node, the scanner comes out. It's like an orange, bright orange plasma plate, and it scans the node, and it knows all the information. Then the information is collected into this orange plasma ball, and then when you get it, you put it into this. It's a square, was very rounded square, like crystal, and there's a triangle inside. It's a door. I don't know how, but it opens, and you put the orange ball inside for a second, and then you hear in your head information scanned into the crystalline structure of the cube, and you take it out. And yeah, so it's interesting. So, and that's just like waste now, like you need to throw out in the garbage. That's what I feel, because information is taken out of that orange plasma, so you can recycle it into plasma again, type thing. um they've done this thing when they would take you from your bed at night when you were little to Mars. There is a Mars Valley. It's like a valley of rich men. They have huge mansions there. It's like a pit inside the Mars. And there's like mansions that I've seen before with James, and they're connected through the tunneling system. You were one of those 7 boys taken to this Rockefeller family. And that's when they were doing stuff to you, because you were physically abducted there during sleep. And nobody would notice that. And that's how they created alters, through different manipulations. Um, Alters is like different personalities that attach to the 11 clones that you have, 11 alters. And they all have a different function, because They were very happy they got you because in your soul that you have encoded knowledge of technology of outside worlds that is not known to Grace yet. And they just scanned all the information off of you. Um, and they valued that you're like a professional. You can you can do stuff. It's I keep getting this technical support. I mean, it's like you know how to the parts of the shape, what shape is done for what mission. Like what kind of ship you need to create, a spacecraft need to create for which mission. They would tell you what mission. They would show you how many biorobots or robots would be there, and you would just, it's like a picture in your head. You picture it, and the picture is scanned off of your head, and that's it. You're serving them a great purpose, and you're also in other programs. You know what comes to me? There's a Black Hawk program 53. It seems like it started in the military base in New Mexico in the United States here. So Black Hawks 1953, the program started. And so America and Great Britain. See, the Great Britain is more towards other alien species that control other European countries. But the United States is more like, it is totally like a reptilian state. I see United States as an eye of a serpent, the whole. And then, but the very strong reptilian empire is in London also, the royal family. I feel like the royal family comes from the reptilian family from the USA to be able to control the territory. This way there's connection, but also dissatisfaction in between or great competition who is first. Um, it just happened naturally. It wasn't planned, but that's why I see that military base. And I mean, it just influenced you a lot because it's crazy. They try to make all your lives this is like 23rd life, and they try to make you serve them in the military. In a lot of lives, you've been in the military because you're very fast to grasp the knowledge. And it's very easy to tell you information, you absorb it to teach you how to do anything they wanted you to do. And the reason why you don't, they want you to have fear, but you don't at a soul level for certain. Because, for sure, because you just want to get out of here. And you know the only way to get out is to lose that fear of that they can control you. But this is 23rd life. And they, in all the lives, in only 22 lives before, I see that they cut off your life at the age of 40 or 50 because they don't want you to get to the certain point when you can kind of give away the knowledge. Because it's this energy around you floating, and it's sensitive people can scan the knowledge from you, and they don't want that to happen. So I hear a lot of German language spoken. I see that you were in the Mars Defense also. I see the gray suit with a stripe. I feel like I know you, but I was just a soldier. You were much higher. I see you putting together maps. You know how to map stuff. You naturally know. Maybe they were looking for that. I see like different pictures of that stuff. But then I also see that what you're doing now, since you changed the timeline, how you got here, you're starting to pull out some stuff from yourself. It looks like the little needles with fuzz on the. It's not fuzz. It's just like a glass fiberglass stuff on the at the end of each needle. There's 117, 118 needles, and it's sticking out of you, but you can't see it yourself. It only reveals yourself when you get to a certain understanding, and you got to that understanding right now, because I'm showing to you, you know what's going on. You know that it's not the end, just the beginning. What's going on Earth, and in a way you're exciting to see it, even though it's not easy. But um, what you do, you go to that moment right now. I see how they put contract together, because your soul is not split anymore, because you changed the timeline. That's it, it's done. But you want to make sure that the contract is over. There is a bright blue and the black, two folders for you, and the folders have, it's like wild, it's like a flag, like a golden flag with, you know, the German eagle. Yes, the German eagle on the folders, and not on the middle like I usually see in the corner, the upper left corner. And it said Force Rake, Force Rake on there, because each book is only 5 pages, and each page says that agree to help the best race, the most. It's like, I know what they've done. You're showing to me. There's labs in Antarctica where they mixed, let's say, Jewish kind of Anunnaki regional blood with those who we consider Nordics, tall whites, and then they spread their DNA to Pleiadians. That's where part Pleiadians became totally converted to kind of like Nazi people, I would say. Same ideas. They first implement ideas a little bit, but then they have control over one's gonna be uncomfortable for you. But you got these folders, you put them on the tray, you took your lighting, like the light, the fire, and oh my gosh, I only remember it's an Italian, a leccendino, when you light up a cigarette, you know, that thing, and you just like it exploded and just like it went on fire and it melted over. The papers are completely destroyed. They melted. I'm telling you to open the portal. You're actually showing me that you open it. You drew a portal like in a submarine, because you've been on submarine. You've been in some underwater programs too. You've Oh, that's where mechanical support comes from. There's something about the control of submarine. You know how to do it. Underwater portals to different civilizations. The way using you to basically hack the opening of to open their portals to underwater civilizations. Only very wise souls can do that. You could do that for them. That's why you don't feel like you like water. Like deep down you just don't, because it's because you've been used underwater, forced to do something for them despite you actually loving water like your soul does. Mm. See this, so you did that. You disconnected. I see how you destroyed, like you went to that timeline segment. You took from the shelf all the 9 little hybrids growing, and you said no, stop. And when you said stop and you held them in between your hands, they just kind of burn up. They became black. Because you don't want your DNA mixed with reptilian gray, other species DNA. So you destroy them. You disconnected yourself from the altars, from the 11 clones. Hmm. But you're just showing me there's bunkers on in Mars, like under the underground Mars, that you know the truth about there. There is literally like coffins, transparent crystalline coffins of the different like cosmic souls who came to Earth to speed up the progress of humans. That basically what happens is they've been infiltrated, a lot of them, by via technology, and when they died, their bodies are taken. Their bodies are taken to that bunker, and as long as their bodies are not destroyed, their souls are suffering, and because they are connected, they cannot completely disconnect. And show me that bunker. Underground Mars. Uh, Moon. Moon has some, but mostly Mars. And you said that you've been to the moon so many times too. It just that's when they have this it's like parkings, but it's like a hangars with different aircrafts from all the universes they could steal them from, a technology from, and replicate it. Um, they would sit you in each craft, and they would make you fly it, or they would make you explain what on the there is a display thing. It looks more futuristic than this because the buttons are all like drawn on. And once you click on the button, like, let me see the rear of the spaceship, the holographic image starts growing from that button. It's like unfolds a little screen and shows you, here's your back. DNA. You say check on the DNA. Hmm. It's, yeah, I see you having like 3 strands of DNA now, and they're active. They're active. They're not like 2. They're not 2. They're 3. But the rest is like not important, but you're saying that let's work on this. I have to cleanse them more so I can feel and see more. So you once again touch it with your hands and they just become brighter, and it's like energy of your soul comes through them. But in reality, you have over 302 strands of DNA. It's just, you say DNA is like your root system. The more roots you sprout, the wiser you are, the more space you have to fill up with knowledge, and more solid you are, like a tree that can hold on to earth. You can hold on and find a decision in every situation you are forced to face. A lot of times you are forced. Um, so you did the DNA cleanse. It's like you're doing the same. You're touching it, touching it. You're very textile. You like to touch stuff. And I see as you touch, it starts going blue and then it turns into green. Because I see a soul green, but then it can turn yellow. Goes back to green. It's a very different soul from others. It's really has the ability to flip flop itself, change its structure, escape a lot of things. But you absolutely hate technology. That's what it is. So, hmm. So you did the DNA, you disconnected from clones, destroyed hybrids. You took out the pokey things like needles from yourself, and you pulled out, there's some strings inside you that they put in, and they would pull a string. It goes through emotional body. It will make you feel almost like lonely, depressed, things like that. Like you wish you could do more, or you wish more people would react and be like you. It's sometimes frustration from everything around and people around. But yeah, the contract is gone. The emotional, mental bodies, I feel there's childhood trauma, just like in big letters, I see it. Um, you were in Montauk 100% as a child. I see you on the moon. You're holding some sort of stuffed animal, something like, it looks to me like brownish. Uh-huh. Because they just take you in pajamas out of your bed and they bring you there. They tried to do monarch on you, but it didn't work. Hard to program you. You have anti-program biological system built into your any incarnation you do, because that's your soul. Your soul feels very strongly about being independent. Um, what else? Those other lives, I see them getting unfolded, getting cleansed. Yeah, see that. Well, as far as I'm just standing there and you say that you finally can go back to your energy sphere because it existed, but it was stolen. It was stolen. There's a strange, interesting thing here. So basically, to create a laboratory on a spacecraft and to get it to get supply of energy constantly to it, they steal energy spheres from souls incarnated on Earth. They stretch it out and put it around that platform with the hospital, let's say, or the lab. I don't know. I say hospital because hospitals connected to those labs, and it's like a bubble of energy. It's like as if you plugged it to the electricity in the wall, and it always has energy. Um, they there's this thing. You said there's also a book of your lives. These files are not everything. There's somebody who keeps. There's a contract keeper, but in your case, it's a life keeper. Humanoid, you said. Helped him a lot. Huh. Yeah, there's just. You just disconnect from all the programs. You take this book and you're doing the same thing. You're just putting it on the tray, set it on fire, and gone. But I see you in one of the live, you live like, I think it's like a Norway. No, it comes as Finland. And it's like I see you as a soldier, you're in training and you're wearing this white suit, but you're not like a soldier to fight. No, it's about radio communications. You're always in some sort of technical kind of stuff a lot. Because you receiver yourself, you're like an antenna, you receive information, you receive information because your soul wants you to receive it, so you wake up and tell others. And that's why you're like a walking antenna. You sort out the non-true, you don't even listen to like anything non-truthful. And that was the biggest frustration of those who are trying to control you, because they kept putting, they created those implants inside simply. There's a modified. So there's this one clone whom you disconnected from. He had like implant. It's called shell implant. It's like a shell for the brain, and basically it's connected to your conscious mind and to your brain at this level, and it tries to influence you big time. And they would download the programs. I see you as a little child sitting on the chair, and they would put like headphone type thing, but it doesn't look like round, and it looks like a big, massive, like a bent flat stick. And through that, there's some impulses. It's not even numbers, letters, or words. It's the impulse type frequency technology. It goes like zzz, zzz, like that, and it's like embedded into you. But you did purified your body, you said, and you say, I cancel all their lives. I hate it that they made me incarnate so many times. And you did cancel them. So basically, when you get out of this life, it's like there's no tracking system. There's no tracking from the lives on Earth anymore. So they cannot uh, get like possession of you, or cannot get you anymore. You have to leave your body whenever you decide to. And you feel different. I smell like roses. I smell roses now. You show me that you're tired and you would like to sit in the garden and smelling something. You say beautiful. That puts you in the relaxed state. And you're saying that there's going to be people more and more who are going to be able to put massive amount of people into a nice state. You see the young kids who are coming now are going to do that. But at the same time, you see that everybody needs to contribute to the health of this planet. Looks like you're giving a final message. But I know you from a military base. We went through the same tunnel. There's a tunnel. I see you. So you go from Mars in gray suit with the stripes on the side into the moon, and once you approach the splitting reality technology type machine, which creates this uh, portal, you get changed. I've seen it before. I've done it too like that. So the gray suit changes into the black suit on the moon. But I also like one of your clones had this it's like a commander hat. You know, like the Third Reich Nazi kind of suit. That's how I see you. One of your clones been used that way because they basically scanned the knowledge. It's in those clones that you destroyed just now, and they would put these clones on different missions, different situations, and they would use your knowledge for, or if they would go to the moment in your lifetime when you were asleep and they can scan your brain or create a situation in the sleep and see what you do in that situation, which is really crazy. But you spread information everywhere. And now you created this beautiful blue bubble around yourself, and it's just like very nice energy that turns into golden, turns into green, but mostly blue and green, blue and green. And then you say, that's who I am, finally. And they're not gonna influence me anymore. They're not gonna push me in situations I hate. I'm the one who is a creator. I'm a true creator now. I got rid of them. Basically, you get rid of the same spaceship because you were connected to it, where they split up your soul. So it never happened. You erased it. You deleted this act. So you're just like free now to do whatever you want to do. But obviously, you said that mm, you're gonna see a lot. You're gonna see a lot in the next years to come. And it says 2020, the year 26 is not such a good year. You said it's not a good year, 26. You better know this because it's a turbulent, more turbulent than we known before. So, one sec. I saw like a lot of people I know, and you know those people too. You probably know. I'll send you some videos, but I feel like uh I know you. On I see you on Mars sitting with those on Mars there's like a big dining room. It's like a hierarchy of kind of they try to create this competition hierarchy and hatred in between. Soldiers are around on like benches and long tables, and the commanders in the middle, and I see you in the middle, and I see him sitting on the bench with soldiers, and we're forming a web of people who understand what we're being used for and who want to get out of the space program organized by all this AI. Ultimately, it's all AI. The Nordics we see the blue, the tall whites, the short whites, the Pleiadians. They're all gonna work together, and they are mostly AI power generated. And they're just replicas of the original species. That's all. But yeah, you did all the job. It's just perfect. You did a very good job. You can ask questions if you want. Your soul is connected. I feel like it's gonna be a process for you to unwind all these layers because they created a lot of trauma, and it's like it was a script of your life. Okay, there's like a situation that is connected to certain trauma that you experienced in the childhood on the basis of the moon and Mars, and they would reactivate this trauma over and over and over. They would actually send you specific Sony the dreams to they would infiltrate your psyche, and you would not even know it because it's very smart technology. Because when you get out of the dream, you wake up and you go about your daily routine, then they would send you a person, a child, and through your whatever friends or work to press on that button of the trauma, and they would start unfolding. Plus, through those headphones that I told you, they would create a lot of false memories for you, false. But you don't remember those memories. That's the thing, because they're not yours. But they made an imprint. There's particular imprints. It looks like a biological map of imprints on your mental body and emotional body because they are connected. You can influence anybody, and the neural connection would go to that particular. It's like they can pressure you to behave certain way whenever they want you to behave that way.
Can I just say something?
Mm?
Can I just say something?
Say something. What do you mean?
I said, can I just tell you something, Oksana? About
Yeah.
10, 13 years ago,
Mm.
and you probably already know this, what's the easiest way to control a human being in respect of, if you understand all his energy? Think about what's going on now,
Energy
how
grids.
everything's being controlled via frequency, and we're, of course, we're beings of energy that resonate to a frequency. Now, I've had two things in my mind that I've been saying a lot the last 10 years, and I've known this all my life. I personally did not come here this time to be controlled by anything, and I never have.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people used to say to me, I don't like being told what to do. No, it's not the case of not being told what to do. It's the energy and which is tuned into how the people in charge, whoever that is, and whatever job you've done, how they manipulate you through frequency, i.e., voice control, let's say, when you've been told what to do. Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
as a child, I was breached, feet first, blue, and nearly died. And apparently, I was born with the umbilical cord around my neck. Now, the only way I could perceive that is that I fought hard to get here. And I won't sort of go into like
You
the explanations of,
you resisted, you hated everything about it. You knew what was coming.
yeah, but in part, and I'll say this a lot these days, and just purely by what I felt when the COVID circus started, that it was all about control in one branch, yeah. Because since then, there's been several other things. Because clearly, COVID, for I'll call them the globalists, whoever they are in charge in the form of human beings, they didn't kill off the numbers they required in that respect. But as far as information, me personally, then yeah. Um, and I keep saying this to people I work with and people I know. I mean, I don't really have any what you consider to be friends because I don't dislike humans, but I don't like being around humans, just say generalizing in public life because I don't get a bad, sorry, I don't get a good feeling. And I've always gone on my feelings and senses all my life. Um, and I do pick up on other people's energy and a lot of humanity. Okay, I can only speak for the country I live in. A lot of people don't realize that they're controlled and they don't even realize from a mental level that they're being controlled. But again, as you know, Oksana, we all agree to come. We all have a contract to live through. Okay, this time around. And that, as you've said there before, I was told many years ago I'm a wise soul and I've had many lifetimes in different variations. How far back it goes, been told it goes back a long, long way, So, because again, your fears and likes this time around, I would say there's probably imprints in your total incarnation memory from all the times you've lived that sort of shape your likes and dislikes for life this time around. But as far as control, then yeah, everything's energy, and how do you control energy? Via frequency, as what's going on right now globally. Yeah, even though we live through those actions, it's all frequency controlled. And again, a lot of people don't see it like this because they're programmed not to, or they're too wrapped up in, oh, I need a job, I've got to get money, and they've grasp the whole concept of life purely as, well, this is all there is. And I've asked the question for many, many, many years that this isn't all there is. This is the physical aspect of existence. But most of humanity has been programmed to accept that. And of course, when you say that to what you call normies, they look at you like you're a fruitcake. And I just laugh because I'm probably the sanest person I know, but I clearly know that I definitely don't fit into what people consider to be a normal person. And I mean, it took me a lot of years to realize that because when you're younger, you air your views, the people around you go, oh, easy words, you're paranoid. Then you grow to realize it was never paranoia. You were just aware more so than others. It's
Mm.
hard to explain that to people that don't really understand what you mean. And I'm forever explaining myself to the point where now I don't bother explaining because you can't explain to people that don't understand that there's more to them just getting up every day, going to work and accepting, or I call it, I mean, I'm a red pillar through and through. If you've seen The Matrix, the red pill is question everything, believe nothing. Most people are blue pillars. They just accept the norm and carry on, believing there's nothing they can do. When another thing about COVID, it is a true wake up for humanity to realise their true potential. But more and more people are waking up. But it's took already 4 years for people to wake up. But sadly, a lot have perished along the way when they never needed to. But they believed from day one what was thrown at them. That's the scary part.
Yeah, and I also it keeps popping up in my head that your name is Fritz, and you're officer in command, and I see you in this Nazi uniform. Sorry, but it's a German uniform, 100% was the hat, and you are on the moon in that uniform. I totally know, and I totally know that you would go through portal into Antarctica and back, and you were in charge of others. And at some point, it's like your soul is forced to be in the body and your soul is against it.
Yeah,
Fritz with a Z at the end. And because of that, it's like you awaken yourself in the physical life, and that's why you're a wise soul, because all these lives, they are not only on Earth, they're everywhere else. Because basically our clones is like us. They're powered by our energy, connected to us. There's
yeah,
constant connection. So sometimes clones get to understanding with somehow, well, it's not that them, but that the energy of your soul in them starts rebellion. I don't want to do this. Why did you force me to be that, clone and do that stuff to people? I don't want to be commander of anybody. That's what I really feel. And I feel like you really know bases in Antarctica. And it probably triggers you when you listen about it.
I've watched. I've. Have you ever heard? There's a, okay. It's not YouTube. There's a guy called Mel Hosterick. He's got a website called Veritas Radio and Veritas TV, and he interviews people. And I come across one podcast he done of a guy. I can't remember his name at the moment, but he was a Hispanic guy. It was being translated when he's being interviewed, but he basically explained who he was, what his connections were in this life, and we're talking all the how can we put it, all the known people we consider to be the global controllers, and he had a mission. Now, again, you can only listen to the podcast and what he's explaining, but apparently in Antarctica that there is, when you've probably seen lots of stuff on this over the years, that there is many things in Antarctica that say are not of this world, but they've been there thousands of years. And he had a mission to go and replace uh, a satellite beacon, and of course the energy there, literally you couldn't operate anything mechanical because the energy there interfered with it. And he's explaining this story, and he got so far out into Antarctica where literally these snowmobiles stopped working. And when they checked them out, they weren't actually a normal mechanical snowmobile. They were powered by some other type of energy. But anyway, him and the people that were he was with, I think he was only with a group of guys, but basically they the vehicles they're on stopped working, and how far they'd gone, they could actually see this massive building. But from a distance, you wouldn't know it was there till you got close to it. It was like it was cloaked. And
Mm.
as he approached this building, he touched it, and then a door opened, and this, whatever you want to call it, being come out, and telepathically, it basically explained to him that um, this being was basically saying that we told your superiors that we didn't want humans coming here, but he obviously disobeyed orders because he was told not to go there. And he basically, through wanting to know what it actually was, and touch it and feel it, and then this whatever it was come out and spoke to him and warned him not to come back here. But as you know, there's a lot of stuff out there that a lot of governments have got agreements that no normal people, it's only military people and scientific people are allowed to go there. Plus, if you know who Linda Moulton Howe is, I've watched a lot of her stuff. And there was one particular guy called Brian S., who was part of a C-130 crew that used to, but this is North or South Pole, I can't remember. But basically, he's got a few podcasts where he explained what they saw, UFOs and all of that. That again, because there's no fly zones, and the reasons why, because obviously they don't want normal people to see stuff that's actually there. But I mean that, even though I found it, I've listened to it, I've sort of already I'm one of these people I've already known. At the end of the day, if you look at the scientific probability of us being all there is in the universe, it's impossible. But again, it's then convincing most of humanity that there are other forms of existences and beings, and there's different variations of what can I call it, realms. I mean, you obviously know all this because of what you do, but explain that to the average person who has no knowledge or don't want to accept there are other possibilities of existence, because they're very real. Most people only believe what they can see, touch, smell. What most normal people do, and that's the difficult part to explain to people, and educate them who are totally closed-minded. That's the difficult part.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's very true.
Exactly what's gone on with COVID. You try and explain to people that what's been done